There, Hornets coach Charles Lee fired up in the locker room after the thriller tonight in Charlotte. But let's take a look at how that 9-10 elimination matchup unfolded. We pick up here in the second quarter where there was some unfortunate news for the Heat. Of course, Lamelo drives in, loses his balance, and takes Bam's legs out from under him. Bam goes down hard. Now, the refs did not take another look at this. Bam went to the locker room and would eventually be ruled out. Fourth quarter now. Off the inbound, Kobe White was electric, BG.
Mr. Basketball? Mr. Basketball. Again,
BG
sorry.
couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it's all good. I deserve that.
No.
That's in just the OT. Off the inbound, Tyler Hero, UD, sinks the off-balance three.
Tough shot.
He would get fouled on the next possession. Heat would take the lead on free throws. Final moments of the game. Lamelo muscles his way to the rim, gets the layup to go. The Heat push the ball the other way. Davion Mitchell gets his shot blocked by Miles Bridges to seal the game. The Heat are eliminated.
Went up with both hands.
Both hands.
Give me that.
That's how you know you can jump.
And he was big offensively tonight as well. It's not that. He was huge offensively. Defense all night, actually.
Just euphoria for the Hornets. They stay alive in the play-in tournament, winning a thriller. Now, here's more from both teams on the night where Lamelo hit the game winner and was involved in the game's most controversial play. All right, at that podium, Lamelo did offer an apology to Bam Adebayo, said he had not yet seen it, but he did say sorry on the podium. Now, crew chief Zach Zarba spoke to reporters after the game, said the play wasn't whistled in real time. Play continued with a fast break, and because play wasn't stopped immediately and there was no whistle on the play, the window to review the play was closed. Play was stopped after a change of possession and then a timeout. So by rule, our window to review that play then is closed. Collective
That's tough.
sigh. Where's your head at, UD?
I mean, that's the way the cookie crumbles. I never want to make excuses. Obviously, you want that to be called, but there was enough plays throughout that game for Miami to make that they could still won that game. So obviously, Bam being out, it definitely impacts the offensive rebound, and that's huge on what Charlotte does, giving up 25 second chance points.
Impacts everything.
It impacts everything. You're right, offensively and defensively. But they had opportunities to win the game. But I do think if Bam was in there, they would have won that game. But that he wasn't in, and there's no excuses. You had your opportunity. One thing I would have liked to see on that last play, I would have liked to see maybe Khalil in the game. Maybe if you put him on the ball, just that inbounder, just to distort that inbound pass just a little bit, make that a tougher pass.
We also had 5 blocks.
Yeah, or something like that. So that was the one thing, if I'm nitpicking, I would have liked to see. But I'm sure it's supposed to say at 8.7 seconds, they might run a couple actions and they might have to switch it. He didn't want, Khalil in switchable matchups or something like that. But that was just the one thing I would probably nitpick if I could.
Would you guys put a Khalil Ware, somebody who's obviously can go crash the offensive glass, the end of regulation when Tyler Hero had that 3, would you guys have a Khalil Ware in just for a tip-in?
The one where he missed it or the one where he got fouled?
The one where Tyler missed it. Khalil was out. They went with a small lineup, and I don't know, how many times in those situations have we seen a big go tip in, especially with 5 seconds left. Now, I know if there's 1.2 and it's a catch and shoot, you're probably not going to get an offensive rebound, but there was more than that left.
I think because they dribbled it out and Hero dribbled it out, got to his shot and got to his spot and took the last shot. I don't think they were even focused on the offensive rebound, but that is an opportunity once again. You maybe take it a little bit earlier and you crash the glass and see what happens. So in hindsight, there's a couple of things we can look at that would have happened, but if Kobe White misses that shot, it's a whole different conversation. So you got to give credit to the Charlotte Hornets because as a young team who has not been able to finish games, that have struggled in the clutch, there were big shots made by Brandon Miller at the top of the key. There were big shots made by Kobe White.
Miles Bridges.
I mean, Miles Bridges was huge. People don't know this, but he's the 3rd leading scorer in Charlotte Hornets history. People think it's like, Miles Bridges gets it done. So, yes, huge win for them.
Yeah, I mean, Charlotte Hornets, hell of a win, and I do want to talk a little bit more about that victory for them. But, of course, that call is going to be a big talking point this week. What do you do when you are a team, the officiating doesn't go your way? How do you avoid that sort of coulda, woulda, shoulda game, Dirk?
Yeah, I think that was just a tough coincidence that he got hurt. I think plays like this happen all the time. Somebody might trip somebody real quick in the fast break without the referees catching it. It was just so unfortunate there that Bam felt so bad on his back that he was out for the rest of the game. Honestly, a play like this probably happens a few times a game. And it just happens that Bam was done for the night. So super unfortunate for the Heat. But still, you're going to look at it and say, this is just unfortunate and it happened, and we still had enough chances. The Heat, they came all the way back there in the second half, and it looked like that was their game to take. And then they basically had won it down the stretch when Hero made the three and then all the 3 free throws. So they had enough chances. Hero had the pull-up going 3 to win it at the end of regulation, created enough separation, had a great look. So at the end of the day, they played a heck of a game, both sides, and they still had enough chances to win.
If that had been called, what do you think the refs would have gone and reviewed? What do you think is a flagrant?
Well, I think it's a flagrant one.
Just flagrant one.
Yeah, I don't kick him out.
Yeah,
I don't kick him out for that. No,
and let me add, none of us up here think LaMelo's a dirty basketball player. In the heat of the moment, things happen. You make split-second decisions, and I think that's all that was.
Yeah.
In real time, I didn't even see that until the replay.
And for what it's worth, Zach Zarba was asked if it should be a flagrant foul. He said at this point, that goes to league operations. They'll make a determination on that in the coming days. So they'll make that determination and go from there. But of course, do not want to take away from what the Hornets did.
That's basically I plead the fifth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we got it, Zach.
That's UD's translation.
The last 2-minute report is the least helpful thing ever. For the team that lost, you're like, sick. All right, great, you got it wrong.
But I will say this. There's one basketball on the court. There's 4 guys, means 8 eyes. And nobody watching that ball that was in Bam's hand? It's only one ball. One guy had it. Where was the 8 eyes? In the stands?
Yeah, I'm so sorry, UD.
Anyways,
I know it's a sore subject.
And back in our day, retaliation, you would have got hit back. Now, you wouldn't have got hurt, but you would have got hit back.
Yeah, the get-back guy on the team.
You would have got hit back. Somebody would have checked in that don't play.
Yeah.
He ain't played all year.
Like they're missing a number 40 on that Heat bench.
No, I can't do that no more.
Yeah,
the day's over with for me.
Obviously waiting for updates on Bam Adebayo, but of course we all hope that he is doing okay. But of course, 1-2, touch on the Charlotte Hornets. Great win, especially Kobe White. 14 points on 4 for 4 from 3 in the first quarter. They made the game-tying 3 with about 11 seconds left in the fourth. That was your X factor before this game.
Chicago. He should have stayed in Chicago. I said he's played 2 great games against the Miami Heat since he's been there. He hasn't been there for the whole 4 games, but the 2 games he's been there playing against the Miami Heat, he has been a huge X factor off the bench for them. And as great as they are offensively with their first unit, you can bring a guy in like that can get it going when you got Khan not shooting well. That's just a luxury.
Yeah, shout out to our producers for showing this shot 47 times tonight. So UD has to relive that on purpose over and over again. I'm sorry, UD. It's really messed up.
I want to say I'm proud of LaMelo. Obviously, he didn't have it going from 3, but down the stretch, that was a huge play. Just put his head down. Wasn't going to be denied. Wasn't going to shoot a step back there in that situation. He had his mind made up. He attacked. He kept coming around the corner and made a heck of a play. But, LaMelo still played a good game. He was cold from 3, but he had 10 assists. Yeah. What was he? He was plus 15 today.
Yeah,
so he had an impact. There's been obviously years where he didn't shoot the ball well. Everything went downhill. But he was still effective. He was getting to the lane. He was getting assists, getting his guys involved. In here, like I said, just putting his head down. Even though Jaime stood him up a little bit, he kept turning the corner, using his power and his strength and athleticism and get around him and get to the hoop. So still a great game and did enough to win for his ball club.
Yeah, Lamelo Ball, the 4th player to have 30 points and 10 assists in a play-in game. But another guy that showed up huge was Miles Bridges.
And he was big all game long, not just offensively, not just the shots that he hit, but just how he set the tone early in the game. He had a huge block on Tyler Hero, had a strip on Bam, had a strip at half court that led to a layup. I mean, those types of things really set the tone for a game like this, and you see it. The way he started the game is the way he ended the game. Sprinting over, getting an almost 2-hand block to save the game. So enough can't be said about him and his effort.
Can I say this? Charlotte, to me, had the game in control. Miami Heat came out in the fourth quarter and dropped the zone, and that completely changed the game.
Yes.
The Heat did a great job. The Hornets were kind of frozen. They didn't really know how to attack the middle, or they kept trying from the top, kept shooting threes. At some point, they were like 1 for 11 from three. So that zone literally turned the game there in the fourth quarter and almost won the Heat the game. If Kobe White doesn't hit that tough shot there in the corner, this is the Heat's game. And Wiggins was fantastic. My X factor, Davion Mitchell, was fantastic, making shots, going downhill, bumping little guys off, getting to the floaters. I mean, he was incredible tonight. So I'll feel bad for the Heat. That was just a heck of a game and really deserved no loser.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Miami's 6-season playoff streak ended with their loss tonight. As we look back on the year the Heat had and what they have ahead, how would you sort of put a bow on this season for Miami, BG?
Obviously, very disappointing, and they have the pieces, but 4 straight play-ins, like you play with fire, like you're going to get burned one of these times, and unfortunately, it had to be tonight. And I hate that it had to be a game, where Bam, couldn't contribute. But Miami Heat have a great organization. Pat'll go to the drawing board. I'm sure there's going to be a few changes, but it shows the importance of how much the regular season matters.
Yes.
I mean, you drop some of these games that you shouldn't have dropped. You could be the 9th seed instead of the 10th seed and play this game at home, or even 8 or 7. But don't even get into that. I mean, it's just those little games. I can't tell you how many times I think teams at the end of the season are like, man, we lost that game on a Tuesday in November that we should have won, and that would have mattered a lot. So it does go to show you how all these games are important no matter the time of the year.
Put a bow on this one, Dirk. We'll end on you, D.
Yeah, I mean, tough one for Miami. I agree. I think their defense there slipped tremendously over the last 15 games. I mean, it felt like every time I looked the next morning, you guys gave up 125.
You guys, damn.
Yeah.
Dirk,
sorry, no, I'm just saying.
Nobody
was with us.
Damn.
The Miami Heat. Yeah, my bad. It felt like they gave up so many points there down the stretch every night. And like BG said, if they just win 1 or 2 more of those, maybe they have a home game, or maybe they're the 8th seed. So, hey, let the summer begin. Let the sweepstakes begin. I'm sure there's gonna be plenty of Udonis talk this summer. We'll wait and see what happens there. We don't want to really get into that too much, but everything's on the table usually when you don't make the playoffs. I've been around plenty of time when you didn't make the playoffs. Everything's on the table. All the pieces are on the table, and you just want to get back to making the playoffs, being a winning organization. So I'm sure they're going to take a hard look at everything that needs to happen for this franchise to be a winning franchise again.
UD, it's end of the game. Season is over. You're in that locker room talking to those guys. What would you say?
Can't blame nobody but yourselves. This is the position we put ourselves in after the season finished last year. There's no way we should be back in this situation again. After the way the season finished last year, you don't come in with a chip on your shoulder, with a point to prove. That's very discouraging. You know what I mean? And obviously, you look at the defense. The last couple of years, the Miami Heat have hung their hats on having a top 10 defense. Regardless of how bad the offense has been, the defense has always been there. So to see the defense slip in the second half of the season or the last couple of games, that seems to be the most important thing to me, because defense 9 times out of 10 is about effort. Yeah, there's some schemes involved and you got to put guys in the right position, but defense is about effort and competition, and that's what the Miami Heat has prided themselves on doing well and better than anybody else the last couple of years. Secondly, you never really got on the same page with Norm and Tyler playing together. One guy was hurt, the other guy was hurt. One guy comes back, the other guy goes out. You never really got those guys on the floor comfortable and healthy together to see what that could look like. So those are 2 things that I would look at. And obviously, there's championship expectations, and they were nowhere near that the last couple of years. So, I will have conversations with some of those guys in the locker room about how I feel and what I see. But there's got to be some internal soul searching. They got to look in the mirror.
Real question is, you going to do training camp next year again?
Not if the season going to end like that. I can save my bruises and my pains and staying in the bed if the season going to end like that. I ain't going back.
Not the way they're running now in preseason.
I got to go back. It's the way I bank my equity with these guys. And this is why they listen to me and they respond to me, because I get in the trenches with them. But my standards and the way I approach things, they understand that's not it.
No.
Well, I gotta say, UD is our teammate. It was heartbreaking to see some of these
Go ahead, show it again.
reactions.
Show it again. Here we go. Show it again.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Damn shame what happened to that dog.
Although we've come
To the end of the road.
Oh, man.